everyone, and happy Knights of the Frozen Throne Day. Before you dive in, though, got a few more cards to reveal. Or at least, discuss.
Yes, we're revealing cards! How exciting is that? There are actually 157 cards with the new expansion!
Shut up, you!
157!
Thankfully, we're starting with this one.
157.
Arrogant Crusader. 4-cost, 5/2, Paladin, rare. Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 Ghoul. This could go in N'Zoth Paladin, because it's a Death Rattle, it's got a nice, sizable attack. Its body could use some work, but as far as that attack goes, woo, deadly. Bulb.
Actually, its body is just perfect, because you want your opponent to kill this. They kill it, you get a 2/2 Ghoul. Although, then again, do you really want a 2/2 Ghoul, because this sucker has 5 attacks, so maybe, I don't know. I really don't think it's that great, even for N'Zoth Paladin. Normally N'Zoth Paladin focuses on just a few key death rattles, because they want to increase the chance that they get their Tyrion back. I don't think that they run this. I just don't. Alright. Next up, we have Dark Conviction, which is a 2-cost Paladin spell that sets a minion's attack and health to 3. Well, given that I forget what the name of the minion was.
Keeper of Uldaman?
Yeah, given that Keeper of Uldaman has rotated out, Dark Conviction is actually a very good replacement. I mean, it's not going to give you a body, which is what sucks. You really kind of want that body, but if you just need something to quickly put a minion at 3 attack and 3 health, then this will be nice. I don't think it's going to see play, though, because I think Paladin has other ways to control the board, rather than setting the attack and health to 3. The key part about Keeper of Uldaman was not that it set the minion's attack and health to 3. That was part of why Keeper of Uldaman was good. Keeper of Uldaman was good because it did that, plus gave you a body on the board. And without the body, I don't think Dark Conviction is any good.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I was like, it's a really nice just target and just shrink, but otherwise, you could probably go without it. Your 2-cost spot's going to be more than likely safe for your quality, and that's fine enough. So if anything, we can shift and move into Bloodworm. 5-cost for 4 neutral beast with lifesteal. Okay. Pretty nifty, pretty neat. I mean, you're giving more classes the ability. You're giving all the classes the ability to be able to have lifesteal with this 4/4 beast. As far as its home goes, more than likely Hunter, because it's the beast synergy class. You're particularly looking at Druid as well. So this is where I kick it in Bulb's direction, because other than Arena, that's where I see this card kind of shifting and sitting out.
This is a very powerful card. You have the 5-cost 4/4, but it's a 5-cost 4/4 with lifesteal. And with 4 attack, that's a big deal. That makes this very powerful. And yeah, Hunter and Druid might be the ones that make the most use out of it. But I could see this popping up in other decks as well. It's just a very good neutral overall. I think this might be a severely underrated card. I would not be surprised to just see this card getting more popular, just because it's a common and it's just so good for life overall. It has solid stats. I think this is going to be ran a lot. This has a potential meta-defining card, and I'm calling it right now. I think Bloodworm is very strong. I just think it's being underrated, because I don't think a lot of people are understanding how important and how powerful lifesteal is on a 4-attack minion. So I think this is going to be ran all over the place, and unless you have something better in your 5-cost slot, I think this this is going to be a very common minion that will be slotted in at the 5-cost range. Next up, we have Bloodreaver Gul'Dan, which is the Warlock Death Knight. It's a 10-cost Death Knight, but its battle cry is that it summons all friendly demons that died this game. And its hero power is Siphon Life, which has lifesteal for 2 and deals 3 damage. First off, I think the hero power is very strong. It's incredibly strong. This is the hero power I kind of wanted to see the Priest Death Knight have, just because I wanted to run Vampire Priest. I understand why it did not happen, and it makes sense that Warlock kind of gets this hero power. It just sucks that the main Death Knight hero card just doesn't hold up to the awesome hero power. Number 1, it costs 10 mana, which is a lot. Even with Siphon Life as good as it is, that's expecting Warlock to last until turn 10, and by that point they kind of already want Deathaxe. That's kind of a big ask for Warlock, especially in the state that it's in right now. And second, its battlecry is very demon-focused. This could be potentially powerful in a demon-focused deck, but that means that this deck can only be ran in a demon deck. And it has a hero power that is okay overall, and I look at the battle cry, and I look at the hero power, and there's just this huge disparity. The hero power is just an incredible hero power that you would want in pretty much any Warlock deck. And then the battle cry is a battle cry that's only specific and that's only good in a very specific range, in a very specific Warlock deck, that should already be running Deathaxe, and now you're going, why am I running this this Death Knight hero? That costs 10! It summons friendly demons, shrug. Wouldn't you rather, in a demon deck, want Deathaxe that has a hero power that can summon, I don't know, 6/6 demons? Wouldn't it be better to have a hero power that was closer to the Deathaxe's hero power if you were going to have a battle cry that summons all friendly demons that died this game? This perplexes me, because I don't know any Warlock deck that just wants to run this card. Demon decks don't want to run this card because you're going against the Deathaxe in-game play. And I'm not sure that summoning all friendly demons that died this game is necessarily good enough at 10 mana. 10 mana is a huge ask. And then Siphon Life just doesn't fit with what a demon Warlock deck wants to do. It's a general hero power and connected to a Death Knight hero that is very focused on one type of deck. This card is not going to see play. I wish this was a Warlock hero, Death Knight hero, a Warlock hero card that was actually like a lot of the hero cards, which are focused on either know that what they want to do if they synergize with only one type of deck, or they are good in many types of decks, so they're kind of more general. And this card is neither. And I think that's why it fails. I love the hero power, but it should not be connected to this hero. Why did anyone think this was a good idea? This is not going to see play.
Well, if anything, for me, like, as someone who casually dabbles in the demons area, as far as wild goes, I could potentially see this seeing play with, like, Reno. I could potentially also see it coming into play because of Mal'Ganis, and being able to resummon Mal'Ganis again, to where my opponent has to figure out a way to be able to get rid of him. But after that, like, on the standard side, unless you're trying to, like, run a control-esque vampire-style deck, what demons do I have in my arsenal to be able to run, at least right now, to be able to actually make this useful? And
That's
just, Bob, you've hit the nail on the head. You kind of don't.
That's what I'm thinking. There's a huge disparity between the cost, the battle cry, and the hero power. This thing doesn't know what it wants to be. I think it would have been stronger, and I know this would be stepping on Priest's toes. This card would have been stronger and would have been okay with the 10 cost and with the hero power if instead of summoning all friendly demons that die this game, that it basically summoned friendly minions that die this game and filled the board.
That'd be a little bit more nasty.
Yeah. I know that would be stepping on Priest, but number one, that means that it is a good overall Death Knight hero that could fit into any Warlock deck you want to put it in. It would justify the 10 the 10 mana cost, and Siphon Life would actually be okay connected to that hero because it's a good overall general power connected to a good overall general hero battle cry. But as it is right now, I don't see it.
Ta-da! That's all I got at this point.
And this could have been so good, too.
I know. If anything, I'm going to go ahead and shift into Druid. Because Strongshell Scavenger, 4-cost Druid rare, that's a 2/3. That when you hit the battle cry, it gives your taunt minions +2/+2. So we've been trying to play that token taunt at this point with Druid. And then you just drop this 4 cost in there and give all the taunts on the board, or at least on your side of the board, +2/+2. Okay. Like, are we going to be trying to play token taunt Druid now? I mean, if so, okay. Alright, I mean, ain't no big deal to me. I'm just going to kick this in Bob's direction now because that's all I got.
If you are running a taunt-style Druid deck, this is incredibly strong. And there are ways that you can actually make this work, and this would actually work with all of those smaller one-attack taunts that can be spawned via tokens or, with minions or whatnot. This just makes them stronger. I know comparisons have been made with this and Bolster, but guys, this is stronger than Bolster. Because remember, when these effects are attached to minions, that makes them much stronger. We learned this with Vilespine Slayer. We talked about this with Keeper of Oldemon. It's not just the effects, it's the fact that there's a minion attached to the effect. You put this down on a board with taunt minions on it, this gets a lot of value really quickly, and this is a strong card. If a taunt style Druid does not see play, this will not see play. If it does become a thing, this is a potential meta-defining card. It's all going to depend on whether anybody actually plays Taunt Druid. Next up, we have Tuskarr Fisherman. Tuskarr Fisherman is a 2-cost 2/3 neutral minion with a battle cry. Give a friendly minion spell damage +1. Number one, we already have strong 2-cost spell damage minions. We already have them. There's no real reason to have Tuskarr Fisherman give another minion +1 spell damage. And if we did want a minion to basically give other minions +1 spell damage, for 2 more mana, you can play Ancient Mage, where basically he gives the adjacent minions to him as a battle cry +1 spell damage, and he's much better. In a spell damage centric deck, I don't think you play this, or you play Ancient Mage over this. And most spell damage centric decks aren't even going to be running Ancient Mage. So I don't think Tuskarr Fisherman really has a home anywhere, and I don't think he's really going to see play, because number one, there are much better spell damage minions in general. And the only reason you want to play this is in a spell damage deck, in which case they don't want them because they already have access to the spell damage minions they want. And even if they wanted to give other minions spell damage, they have Ancient Mage. So no, he's not going to see play.
Well, if anything, at least he got to sleep with the fishes. Because as you can see, there's a little fish on his head.
Eddie, go.
Bubba. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to Spellweaver. 6 cost, 4/4, spell damage +2. Meh? Like, it's a... As far as the body goes, it's a powered down version of Archmage. And you get +1 more spell damage. A lot of spell damage doesn't get run anyway. So at this point, Bulb here.
It will see play. It will be meta-defining. And the reason why was, I think it was, Corrupted Kobold? Or Evolved Kobold? I think it was Evolved Kobold. Which is a 4-mana 2/2, which everybody thought was a bad card, ended up being a meta-defining card with +2 spell damage. Number one is, I understand, this stat line is not as good as Archmage. But a 4/4 is nothing to sneeze at, and that that +2 spell damage is huge, which makes this actually better than Archmage. Because the body is solid enough for 6. I mean, it could be better, but given its effect, it's solid enough. And its effect in spell damage centric decks, especially Mage, which is where it's going to be ran, means that this is going to be hard to put down and going to include a lot of power along with Evolved Kobold or any other spell damage decks. This is a strong card. It's going to see play. So yeah, just because we know at this point that having spell damage +2 is so incredibly strong. So yeah, this is a card that will see a lot of play. For much the same reason that Evolved Kobold saw play.
I thought it might have been Frosted Kobold, but I wasn't sure. But anyway.
Was it?
Here.
What was it?
I thought it might have been Frosted Kobold.
No, I think it was Evolved Kobold.
One of the two. It was a Kobold.
We're talking about the one that came out in Whispers of the Old Gods.
Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. But go ahead. Go on to the next one.
Next up we have Bone Baron, which is a 5-cost 5/5 rogue minion.
Told you we were doing reveals.
With the Death Rattle, add 2 1/1 skeletons to your hand. Okay. I will admit, I think if there's a N'Zoth rogue that kind of comes out of this expansion, Bone Baron will see play, because then that rogue can use those 1/1 skeletons as combo proccers anyway. And I think in that regard, it's very strong. In regular rogue decks, I'm not sure if this really sees play. Although a 5-mana 5/5 is actually not bad, so it may. I just think that other rogue decks have much better options. But I do think N'Zoth rogue would play this. So I don't think it's bad. I think it actually is decent depending on what you want your rogue deck to do.
I can agree with that, because it's just like you take a look at Tomb Pillager from the last set. Not the last set, the League of Explorers set. It was a 4-cost 5/4, and it gave you a coin. The coin was nice, and it helped you dig deeper into your deck. With this, you've got the Death Rattle. Alright, 2 1/1s. Nifty. Combo procker. I can go alongside with that. And plus, when N'Zoth bringing this back and flooding the board with stuff, you can potentially build Tempo Rogue. Like, you really can if you really want to. So, I could see this shaping out to, depending on how meta shifts and shapes, this could be a meta definer. Like a sleeping meta definer. Are we good on it?
Yes.
The next card I had to say is arguably to be the best named card ever. And that is Doomerang. It's a 1-cost rogue epic spell. Throw your weapon at a minion, it deals its damage, and then returns to your hand. So all that discussion and complaining I've been doing in regards to, like, oh, well, you don't play very many rogue weapons. Well, now you kind of don't have an excuse to, because it's just like, yeah, sure, you have to worry about, like, the ooze nuking it, or at least getting rid of it, but with this, now you can just go, alright, I'm going to look at that minion and just go, deal this much damage, I get my weapon back to my hand. And you've got a shard from Journey to Ungoro that you can make cost 0 because of Burgle effects. So why not? Like, literally, why not play this potential card? Bulb, go.
If Rogue actually starts running weapons, this will be very powerful and this will be used just because it's a way to help control the board. And this may actually prompt Rogue to run weapons. I still just don't know if it's enough to make Rogue want to run weapons. Like, I don't. If any card is going to do it, it's going to be this one. But I just don't know as of yet. So if Rogue One runs weapons, yeah, this could be meta-defining. If there's still a refusal to run any weapons, yeah, this will not see play. So, I mean, it's all going to depend on what Rogue players decide to do. So, next up we have Vryghoul, which is a 3-cost, 3/1 neutral minion with the Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul. Meh. It's pretty much meh for the same reason Arrogant Crusader was meh. I've talked about that, about 3/1 minions, and yes, you want your opponent to kill it. But I'm not sure that what you get in return is necessarily worth the expenditure of actually playing this minion and, doing anything with this minion. I think in this case, the 3/1 body for 3 is a liability in much the same way that Backstreet Lepers was a liability. I just don't think you're getting a good enough reward. It's not like the other 3-cost 3/1. I forget what it's called. But it's not like that where it's actually a reward you want. This is a reward I'm not sure if you really want or not. I don't think that 2/2 ghoul really incentivizes you to play this card. And because of that, I don't think this card is going to see play, and this card is very good.
Oh, I can see it seeing play. You want to put it in your token decks. Because it's just, oh, looky there. You decided to take my 3/1 and kill it. And now I have a 2/2 token just to put it right back in its place. Eggnapper was one of those early cards that was kind of put into the Token Druid deck. And then it just kind of fell off. But I figure if anything, this is a cheap way for people to, if they want to actually keep up with that Token Druid style, this is one of those cheap dust minions that you can get and just go, alright, here.
Yeah, but
here's another thing to put.
But you just said that it was an early part of the deck, which means it's not anymore. I think for the same reason that you eventually took Eggnapper out is probably the same reason they'll eventually take this out.
Maybe.
I don't think the Death Rattle is strong enough.
If anything, the only thing I can say at this point is we'll have to wait and see how the meta shapes out.
Yeah.
Because next up, we have Exploding Bloatbat. 4-cost, 2/1 beast, Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Bulb, Hunter has AoE. What?
Hunter had AoE before.
Just now it's got even more AoE. What? It's not my Hunter. Hunter Smork. Hunter go face.
This can smork.
It can. Exploding Bloatbat. I mean, like, you've also got the potentiality to be able to be comboed with Play Dead, to be able to also have a Flame Strike for 5. This is one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know with you. Like, you really look nice, and you really seem valuable, but at the same time, Bulb, make an argument. Make a better argument than mine.
I think this is actually a very strong card. This is one where the Death Rattle and the stat line and everything actually kind of really lines up. Where pretty much, you're going to attack with it for 2. If they kill it, fine, boom. It just does AoE damage to your opponent's board. I guess the question is, does Hunter run it? Hunter ends up being more of an aggressive type deck, a faster type deck. Will Hunter actually find this to be worth running? And I guess that's where the real question lies. Personally, I think the Death Rattle is strong for whether it's control or a Death Rattle centric deck, but I'm not sure how good it is for a more aggressive deck. If Hunter is having problems where they need the AoE, this could see play. But I guess it's just going to depend on what Hunter wants to do. And I guess that's the real rub of this. Hunter's needs are different than everybody else's needs. If this was neutral, this would be played all over the place. As a Hunter minion, I don't know, because even something like Fiery Bat isn't seeing as much play as it used to. And I feel that's a strong Death Rattle minion. So, given that, I'm not sure how much play this is going to see. It's strong, don't get me wrong, but in Hunter, is it good enough? And I don't have an answer to that. So next up, we have Skelemancer, which is a 5-cost, 2/2 neutral minion with the Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon an 8/8 skeleton. This is what I'm talking about. The stat line makes sense, why it's so small, and you're incentivizing basically a huge return in the 8/8 skeleton. However, it has to be during your opponent's turn. This might be where we run into a problem. It's going to be very, very hard to essentially get this killed. Unlike other minions with this type of effect, it doesn't have a lot of attack. And that could be a deal breaker here. Other minions where they were small and the Death Rattle made them bigger, it didn't matter whether they were killed on your turn or on your opponent's turn. With your opponent's turn, you have to hope that this is on the board when your opponent uses AoE, and then it wipes this out so you can get an 8/8. And your opponent's going to be mindful of this. In a buff type deck, this could be very strong. In a regular type deck, I don't know, simply because of the 2/2 stat line. It'll be easy for Priest to get rid of it with Potion of Madness, because they'll make it theirs when they kill it. Pretty much, you'll have essentially be trying to goad your opponent to use AoE to kill it. Otherwise, they can easily ignore this thing, or put up a taunt minion in the way so that it neutralizes the threat. So the Death Rattle is good, but the stat line might be too small in this one. Mainly the attack.
I have sneaky ideas with Skelemancer. Go ahead! If it's not early game and you're not expecting me to play aggro, play that Doomsayer. Hide it behind a taunt. Here's my Skelemancer and my Skelemancer. Or just one Skelemancer at that point. Go ahead! Play your Dirty Rat and potentially yank this out. And then you have to sit there and go, oh, Brawl, maybe not. I mean, I think I like it. It's one of those things where it's a card that just has you sit down and just go, shoot, do I do this or do I do that? So, I mean, if anything, that's where I sit on it. Are we good with this one?
Yep.
Wicked Skeleton. 4-cost, 1/1, Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn. Okay. I mean, Brawl into this. Ding ding. Use Sleep with the Fishes to try to clear my opponent's board, then drop this. Realistically, I honestly think this is filler at this point. But, Paul, maybe you can convince me otherwise?
Maybe Zoo decks run it, but I don't know whether they should clear the board or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which deck runs this naturally. Because the Battle Cry, I think, is a huge asking point. It's not always guaranteed that you'll get something good for the 4 cost. So I'm not sure if this is going to see any play. I don't think it will. So up next we have Spectral Pillager, which is a 6 cost 5/5 rogue minion with the combo effect. Deal damage equal to the number of other cards you've played this turn. In Miracle Rogue, this could be very nasty. And I could potentially see Miracle Rogue playing this. So yeah, I can see this getting some play and getting some love. And I think in those circumstances, I think it's going to be very good. But we'll see how other people feel.
Yeah, if anything, I can agree with that, because it's just like, oh, hey, you've got all these combos going off, and then just drop this, and just go. Just go. We good on this one?
Yes.
Wretched Tiller. 1 cost, 1/1. Whenever this minion attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I'm gonna be the guy that comes out and says it right now, because this is the first time I'll probably say it, and I'm more than likely gonna be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Useless. Pack filler. Bulb.
This has the potential to be strong. We saw that way back before the nerf that Leper Gnome could be strong. I think this has potential to be strong. It's a 1 cost minion, 1/1, whatever. What you do is you send this to your opponent's face. You deal 3 damage. Your opponent could wipe it out. Yes, it's probably going to be easy to wipe out, but you're aiming to get at least 1 attack. Although, let's be honest, Leper Gnome is better. Leper Gnome is still going to get 2 damage into your opponent no matter what. So I think in most cases, if you're going to want to run this, you're going to want to run Leper Gnome. However, if you're a Zoo deck, maybe an aggressive deck, you might want to think about running this. Maybe even figure out a way to buff this up, because it's going to deal 2 damage to the enemy hero no matter what. So I could see this in certain niche decks finding a home. But in all other cases, I think you'd look at this and then you'd think, you know what? I think Leper Gnome is actually better here. So yeah, I think there'll be a few decks that will run this, but it's not going to see a wide range of play. So next up, we have Grim Necromancer, which is a 4 cost 2/4 neutral minion with the Battle Cry. Summon 2 1/1 skeletons. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's okay. Might see some play in some token decks. I don't think it's good. Probably going to see play in Arena. Not sure it's going to see much overall play outside of those areas.
And a 1 nail, and a 2 nail, and a 3 nail, and you got them all, Bob. Like,
do you want me to just stop talking now?
No, I'm just going and you take every little check mark that I got here. So it's just, no big deal to me. I can move on to Deathaxe Punisher, which is a 4 cost, 3/3, neutral epic, battle cry, give a random lifesteal minion in your hand, +2/+2. Well, okay. If you want to try and run Buff It In at this point, you can try. I don't know if this sees play in Arena, because you have to give it a really niche spot, because you have to have lifesteal in your deck. So, Bob, do you want to make a case for this one?
Are there really that many lifesteal minions in this set? I can't think of that many.
Yeah, no, so I'm just like, eh? Like, sure, go ahead and throw it onto the, Ricker Flame Burn Bristle.
Yeah.
But, eh?
I can't think of... I don't know if it has the support that it needs right now. I mean, this has the potential to be nasty, but as of right now, I'm not sure if it really has the support to really make this an effective card. You might try running this and buffing it or something, but I don't think right now we have enough lifesteal minions to make running this card worth it. I think later on, after Blizzard prints some more lifesteal minions, which I think they will, this could be really cool, and this could be a strong card. I just think right now it's not. Maybe you run it just to give a few lifesteal minions that you have in your hand, to make them stronger. But in general, I just don't think you have enough as of right now, and I'm not sure how effective it will be. Could see some niche play, though, and I think it's a cool effect. I just don't think it's good right now. So next up, we have Grave Shambler, which is a 4-cost, 4/4 elemental, with the effect, whenever your weapon is destroyed, gain +1/+1. Yay. Is it affected in your, if it's your hand? Does it need to be on the field? I mean, these are all very important to consider. And I'm not sure, maybe Shaman would run this in an Elemental deck, but I'm not sure Elemental Shaman really runs any weapons. So, I'm really not sure where this finds a home. I don't see this being ran in Paladin. I don't see this being ran in Warrior. I doubt it sees play in Shaman, an Elemental Shaman, and don't see it seeing play in Rogue or Hunter. I mean, this is a very situational. Again, you need a weapon-heavy deck, or a weapon-focused deck, to make the most use out of this. And if Elemental Shaman would be running weapons, I could maybe see it being ran in there, but given that, I can't see it being played really anywhere.
Arena.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's the only place, because it's just like, oh, look, it's a cost 4/4. Nice curve. Drop. That's it. Like, other than that, constructed. No, thank you. Just gonna scoot to Toxic Arrow, because it's a 2-cost hunter spell that you deal 2 damage to a minion. If it survives, you give it poisonous. Most of my hunter minions are very small as health goes, because I'm looking to rush down face. Other than potentially just hitting my opponent's board to be able to just get rid of a minion. Why do I want Toxic Arrow in my deck when my hero power at 2 mana is applying the pressure? Bulb?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to use this to really give any of your minions poisonous. I'm not sure why you would do that instead of just packing something with poisonous. And I don't think you would even use this to deal 2 damage to a minion to kill it, because you have Grievous Bite, which doesn't see a lot of play. So I don't know. I don't see this seeing any play whatsoever. I don't see a hunter deck that would really use this. This is not the type of control damaging spell that hunter really needs. So I can't see it seeing any play whatsoever. Next up, we have Venomancer, which is a 5-cost 2/5 neutral minion with poisonous. Cool. If you want to run poisonous, this is a good minion to run it with. It is, I think in Wild, Myaxna is a 6-cost, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Myaxna would still be better if you're in Wild, because she's a 2/8. And I kind of think it's hilarious that we actually have people that, because I know that in the Memers chapter that we're part of, there are people going, this is a huge meta-defining card. And they're probably looking at the stat line. I'm just thinking, Myaxna didn't see play. Like, I really like this card, because I kind of have always kind of liked poisonous effects. Mm-hmm. But at the same point, guys, we had a 6-cost 2/8 poisonous that did not see play. I'm really doubting that a 5-cost 2/5 poisonous will see play for much the same reasons Myaxna did not see play. If this sees play, that's wonderful. I like poisonous minions with big booties. They're great. Realistically, though, we've seen this before, and it hasn't happened. So, I don't think it's going to happen this time.
If anything, I think this will be more thrifty in Arena, because it's just like, oh, look, a free kill on board. Like, Giant Wasp found a huge home in Arena because of stealth and poisonous. This, yeah, I think that's where it finds its home, is in Arena, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to boot Scoot and Boogie onto Keening Banshee. 4 cost, 5/5, neutral rare. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. Okay, so I know the comparisons to Spellweaver that this card is going to be made. So it's like, okay, I can see that. It's when you play a card, though, that your top 3 cards appear. So probably Arena is where this gets its kicks. Barring your opponent having to figure out a way to be able to get rid of it, or they're taking 5 to the face. 5 on board. And then you just, if you're playing it in Paladin, you just tap. And you get a dude. And then in Shaman, you can also tap and get a dude. So, Keening Banshee, Arena, yes. Constructed, I'm not sure. Bob, can you make a case for it?
I mean, part of me thinks, well, aggro will run it because it's big and powerful 4, but then I'm going, for that cost, for a similar stat line, there are already cards that kind of exist out there with less harsh downsides. So given that, I don't think so. Because again, you seeing play and removing your top 3 cards, that's huge compared to your opponent. And you'd probably kind of want it to be bigger. And there are already cards, there are already minions for similar stat lines that have, for similar costs that have similar stat lines that have effects that aren't as harsh. So I really can't see it being played and constructed because of that. Next up, we have Gnash, which is a 3-cost druid spell that says give your hero 3 attack this turn, gain 3 armor. That's nice. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play because I think druids already have much better spells at the moment. But it's okay. I just think that druid has better options.
Yeah, this will be the replacement for when Feral Rage rotates out.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt.
Well, maybe. We'll have to see what happens in between now and then.
Fair point. We good?
We're good.
Tainted Zealot. 2 cost, 1/1, Divine Shield, +1 spell damage. Okay, so you have stat line wise and spell damage wise a Blood Mage Thalnos common. That's nifty. You're having to be able to trade in either 1 or 2 minions, or at least trade in resources to get rid of it. So I can see the seeing play, especially in Bubbled In, or just in decks in general that deal with spell damage and stuff. Bob?
Maybe Divine Shield Paladin, but I think in spell damage focused decks, especially in Mage, no. Number 1, Blood Mage Thalnos, much better. Number 2, in Mage we have the Cthulhu spell damage minion, which is the same cost, has a much better stat line, and provides spell damage +1. The Divine Shield means absolutely nothing here, and just in all honesty, if you were going for spell damage, you would pick a Kobold Geomancer over this because it is just better overall. So I think maybe outside of maybe Divine Shield might play it. not as convinced on that, to be honest. But other than that, I don't think this is going to see a lot of play. And that leaves us with Archerus Veteran, which is a 1-cost 2/1 neutral minion with the battle cry, give a friendly minion +1 attack. Whoop-de-doo! We've seen this before. We won't see it again. Again, this is essentially a neutral type effect, and we've seen where that goes. I just think that for this battle cry with the stat line at 1 mana, I think that you have much better choices. I can't see this thing in any play whatsoever.
Hey, people may want to run it because it's got that 2/1 stat line that good old Arja Commander had. And it's just like, oh look, I've got that 2-attack minion back again. Yay! Here, give this minion +1 attack. Bop! It could see played like Zoo.
Potentially,
and Arena. I say Arena because 1 drop. Other than that,
yeah, I don't see it a lot. Well, we do have a little bit of time. Do you want to just talk about... let's start with which class we think got the worst of it in this expansion. Eddie, you can go first. Which class overall came out the worst?
that's a tough one to actually sit down and kind of like look at, because I look at Druid, and it's one of the first things that come to mind to me, because it's just like nothing really excites me about anything that's come out of it to make me just go, okay, I want to sit down and build this Druid deck. Or Hunter, because it's just like, eh. So I'm really torn between those two. But, kind of gun to my head situation, it's just like, alright, fine. I'm going to go with Druid. And that's just for me. And I'm going to just shift it back to you because, hey, you got thoughts.
I agree. I think Druid is kind of meh. However, part of me wants to really say Mage. That sounds nuts, because a lot of people are going Frostless Jaina, Syndragosa, Blarg. But let's be honest here. If we really going to be honest, all Mage hardly got any spells, and all the spells Mage got are crap. They're garbage. Cold Wraith, Doomed Apprentice, are they really going to see any play? Are they really any good or going to see any play? I don't think so. Ice Walker is not going to see a lot of play. Its uses are going to be niche. Ghastly Conjurer will be used in Quest Mage. Syndragosa is a really cool minion. Don't know if it's going to see play, because it's a really cool minion in a class that is not minion focused. And Frostless Jaina has the potential to be great, but it has a high cost, and it probably needs certain builds. And that one is a huge question mark in my mind. So, to break this all down, we have spells that really are not going to help Mage whatsoever. Maybe Breath of Syndragosa. Maybe. We have two minions that really are garbage, not going to see play. 2 that are nice, but are really niche, not going to see play. We have a hero that is questionable how much play it's going to see. What's that? 1 card, Eddie? 1 card. Druid in general is meh, but it's still trying to play to Druid's strengths here and there. Mage is not playing to any strengths whatsoever, and maybe that's how they wanted it. But that does mean that I think Mage kind of got the shaft here.
Okay.
I was actually getting worried with Mage when we had only seen Glacial Mysteries and Simulacrum, and I'm just going, I'm not sure. I think that there are a lot of niche opportunities in Mage, but it's I think Mage was not played. Their strengths were not played to at all, and they don't have a lot of really interesting directions that could go. There's some cool stuff in there, but I don't know how good that's going to be because it's in Mage. Like, my excitement for Syndragosa is not, oh, it's a cool dragon, oh, it's a Mage. But I could try playing something with a cool dragon. My thought was, it's a cool dragon. I hope there's a way, as Dragon Priest, I can grab that dragon. That was my thoughts. Not that Mage had a cool dragon, but just the fact that it's a cool dragon that doesn't belong to Mage. So next up, Eddie, which class got the best drops out of this expansion?
I'm torn between 3 classes. I'm looking at Paladin, I'm looking at Shaman, and I'm looking at Priest. And out of the 3, I'm torn between Shaman and Paladin, realistically. Priest, I can just kind of go, okay, this is nifty, unique, and stuff. I'm going to just shift to the side and just go, okay, you 2 are the ones I'm looking at. Being incredibly strong in this new set. And it's just, gun to my head, I'm going to go Paladin. And then I'm going to throw it to you.
Well, I'm going to just, first off, let's talk about Shaman and Paladin. Paladin has a few very good cards, but in general, it has a lot of cards that I'm not sure are going to see any play whatsoever. A lot of bad cards. Shaman has a lot of potential. I'm not going to deny that. Shaman has a lot of potential, but the problem is a lot of that potential is resting on a unproven archetype. If that archetype does well, Shaman potentially has the best run. If it doesn't, Shaman doesn't have as many good cards. However, I think the class that got the best was Priest. Priest was given a lot of options in his toolbox. I think it's Hero, Shadow Reaper Anduin. I think it's very strong. Has a strong battle cry. Has a nice hero power. The combination of the battle cry in certain decks could be overpowering. Obsidian Statue is one of the better minions in this expansion, if not one of the best minions in this expansion. Even its more niche, or the minions we're not sure are going to see play, are strong in their own rights in certain decks. Shadow Ascendant can be incredibly strong. Acolyte of Agony can be incredibly strong. Archbishop Benedictus could be amazing in the right decks. Eternal Servitude is going to be one of the best spells in the game. Spirit Lash is an incredible control spell. And no matter what you think of Embrace, Darkness, Shadow Essence, Devour Mind, they can all be strong in the right situations. To be honest, there is not a junk card in this entire set that I'm looking at Priest. They're all good in their specific situations. I think they're all incredibly powerful. There's no filler here. It's all good. And whatever your thoughts are on Thief Priest, I think there's a lot of power sitting in Priest here. And I think that Priest is going to be really strong come the release of this expansion. And I think they got the best.
Especially going in the neutral side of things, too. You've got those dragons that are sitting in there.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Priest deck, and it's just like...
Yeah, I think Priest really got the best here. Overall, and I'm going to go first on this one, about my overall thoughts about this expansion. Meh. That's really been my overall thoughts. I think there are some good things in this expansion. Don't get me wrong. But besides the handful of really good minions and some of the Death Knights that want me to try some new archetypes, in general, this new expansion really relies on old school Hearthstone card design, and not necessarily in a good way. This expansion is really reliant on how Hearthstone used to be designed, and because of that, we don't have a lot of the exciting possibilities that we had with Ungoro or Gadgetzan or Whispers of the Old Gods. I came away a lot of times going, I feel like I've seen this before. I feel like I've seen this before, and that's how I had to make a lot of my judgments. And I just haven't gotten excited. There's been a few things I'm going, this is really cool. Lich King is pretty amazing. But if you take away the few amazing things here and there, you'll find out that there are essentially these isolated pockets. And really, this expansion is just a whole lot of dull design, things that we've seen before. It's just not interesting. I think there are a few things now that we've seen all of the cards. I think that there are some new directions that this expansion could potentially go. But in general, even with some of the new directions, I just couldn't get excited about it. It did not fill me with the same amount of excitement as looking at the gangs being released, or wondering what kind of craziness the old gods will become, or what kind of things Angora will reveal. It was just a lot of, okay, that's cool, I guess. I don't think I have ever felt this bored or not excited whatsoever with an expansion. And that's what I remember this for.
My turn?
Yes.
Alright. I had the hype boner kind of killed right off the bat when you went Ticking Abomination. And that was the only card revealed for like almost 24 hours. But then they kind of slowly snowed things. And like, I'm looking at this and I'm just going, okay, please be the set. Just please be the set that takes these King aggro decks and knocks them to the pavement. I'm hopeful of it. Like, I want to see Pirate Warrior just die off for just a little bit. Like, I really do. I am tired of fly poly, I'm in charge now. And then just, okay, game's over by turn 4, turn 5. And then just, you go to the next game. Ongoro brought about this ideal of, like, different decks that were being explored. And even up until just this month, I would say, I wasn't exactly bored with Ongoro. Because there were just so many things that would just come out and you could just play so many different decks. Each game was a different game. I'm hoping we get the same sort of thing with Knights of the Frozen Throne, just in a more slower, reined-in style to where it's now a calculated game, to where you have to sit and go, okay, I have to think through my moves, think through the situation, remember what my opponent's played so far, and then, if I need to, react to something that may come out of left field for me. And that's what I'm hopeful for, and that's what I'm excited about when it comes to Knights of the Frozen Throne, is the potential to have to actually sit down and become more of a thought-induced player to the game. So, that's my 2 cents.
We can only hope.
We can only realistically hope. It is, if anything, it is, by the time you're probably done watching this, it's live. Because this is going up on, or at noon on Thursday. So, if anything, thank you guys for sticking around and listening to ramble about these cards. Definitely be around for the next expansion to ramble off those cards when they start to come down the pipeline again. Bob, what have you got to say?
Guys, go get your Death Knights ready. We'll see you there.
Go get the Death Knights. Bye.